Alright, let's end the I Spit on Your Grave franchise with I Spit on Your Grave 3, Vengeance is Mine. This came out in 2015, and this one is about Sarah Butler, or the character's name, Jennifer Hills, changing her name and moving to California, and she joins a therapy group. A therapy group for rape victims, and seeks grisly revenge against the perpetrators of the crimes. This was my second time watch, and the first time I watched it a few years ago, I remember liking it, but not thinking it was better than the other ones. This time around, though, I think I actually prefer this one over the other two. I really enjoyed it this time, and what I like about it is I like that we got Sarah Butler back as Jennifer Hills, and I like that she changed her name, moved to California. It all makes sense, and she's going to this group therapy, for rape victims, and we're focusing more on like the PTSD. She's having these flashbacks and all these fantasies of killing people, and she just constantly has to keep dealing with men still, and doesn't trust men at all, even the good ones. Like, she's just a completely wrecked person that she can't trust anybody, even people who are legit good and have good intentions. She just has lost trust of men completely. And I like some of the people at this group therapy. I like Koza. I like the whole joke with his name and how people always keep mispronouncing it, and he has to keep reminding them, like, it's Koza, it's not Koska. And his whole story is really sad. A lot of sad things are in this movie, and I really liked his character. I thought he gave a really good performance. Some of the best acting is in this movie. The other ones have fine acting, but I think this one actually stands out amongst the other ones. It has some of the best in the franchise. I really liked the character Marla, the blonde, kind of like emo goth looking girl that she befriends when she gets there. I just like her attitude, and I like some of the dialogue from her. She's really funny, and she's just always got this smirk on her face, and she's just saying all kinds of witty things and making fun of this guy's dick and just putting him down. She cracked me up. I wish there was more of her in this movie. I really like that they threw in the coworker character in here to show Jennifer and the audience watching that there is such thing as good men that aren't always trying to get into your pants. It's not like one of these movies, kind of like Rape Squad in 1974, where they try to paint all men as rapists, or just don't give a shit about women and don't want to help, or just, I can't stand that shit. I like that they threw this character in here to show the audience and Jennifer, like, there are good men. And I thought this one had some of the best writing. I thought it was very believable. Like, she fails in some spots. I like that. I like that her plans don't always work in this one. There's more police work, more police involvement, which makes sense. And when she tries to attack this one dude who's like 6'5" and he's buff as hell, things don't exactly work out well for her. She needs some outside help. So I like that. The writing was a step up in this one from part 2 especially. And this movie actually has kind of a twist in it at the end. It's kind of cool. It's not mind-blowing or anything like that. I didn't see it coming, and so I just thought that was cool. Like an I Spit on Your Grave movie that has a twist at the end. That was not expected. And I thought the movie just moved at a great pace. I was never bored, and I like that there's no rape in this one. It's a rape revenge movie that doesn't show any rape. It's just women talking about it, and I'm fine with that. I don't need to see more rape. Getting into what I don't like about the movie is I don't like how many times they throw in flashbacks. Like, I get she has PTSD and she's thinking about what happened to her, but they just do it like 8 or 9 times. There's just so many flashbacks throughout the whole movie, and it was just a little too much. And also, this movie could have used some more kills. This one has a very small body count. There's only like 2 kills in the movie, so they should have shown her going after more people, that attacked these women in the group, in quicker succession. Like, just get more of these assholes that are, raping these women at her group. She only gets like two, and then the police quickly get involved, so she has to like slow down. She can't just keep killing. But I wish they could have thrown in a few more kills in here, some more gore. This one's probably the tamest of the trilogy. In fact, most of the kills in this movie come from fantasies that she's having, dream sequences or daydreams of killing people. And I wish some of those were real. So that was just a bit of a letdown. Like, there's certain moments where you're like, man, I hope this is really happening, but it's not. And I wish Marla was in the movie a bit more, because she was the standout character to me. So final thoughts, I think this is a bit of an underrated rape revenge movie that focuses more on the PTSD of rape victims and the justice system, how it's and its inability to bring rapists to trial and convict them. You still get some of those grisly, gruesome kills that you got in the other two movies before this, but you don't really get enough of them. But I still had a good time with it, and it has some of the best acting in my opinion, and I recommend it. So when it comes to I Spit on Your Grave 3, Vengeance is Mine, I give it 3.5 out of 5. All right, time for a quick spoiler discussion. I don't really have much to talk about. The therapist that she's talking to throughout the movie, she is one of the girls in the original House on Sorority Row, and she keeps bumping into this gang, and she keeps fantasizing about kicking this gang's ass and stabbing them, shooting them. But of course, that's not all real. And we hear this girl talk about how her stepdad is raping her, and the mom doesn't give a shit, or just is in denial, doesn't want to believe it, which is just really fucked up and sad. But then at some point she gets that dad, the stepdad, lures him to this empty building dressed as like a schoolgirl, and sticks a metal pipe up his ass and shoves it in there with a sledgehammer. So that was pretty cruel, but he deserved it. He's fucking disgusting. And her friend Marla gets killed, and that's what really sets her off. She's hanging out with Marla, and at first they're just kind of intimidating people to be better people, like, continue your horrible acts and we will fuck you up. But then when Marla gets killed by her ex-boyfriend, that's when she snaps and starts sticking metal pipes up guys' asses. And then she gets the ex-boyfriend right away, and again lures him out, and then starts to give him a blowjob, and then takes a knife and shoves it up through his dick and splits it in half and bites off the head of his dick, spits it at him, and says, just a tip. And you actually get to see all of this. Like, you see this fake dick in her mouth as she's like cutting through it. Very disgusting. And I don't understand why this girl, like, if I was this girl, she's like 16, 17, and her stepdad's raping her, and she acts like he's doing it every night, but no one believes her. It's like, it's 2015. Use your iPhone or grab a camera. Somebody at that group will help you. If you don't have one, they'll lend you one. Plant a camera. Get this fucker on tape, and then there's no denying it. So that's what she should have done. Just saying. But I don't know why she didn't do it. But anyways, so then this cop who is in Law and Order SVU and Ash vs. Evil Dead, she's just purposely provoking Koza by calling him Koska, and so she's just kind of a bitchy cop, but a good actress, and she really fits that role. Then she fails big time to get this jacked dude. Like, she follows him into an alleyway, and then shit goes south for her. He ends up tasing her and is about to rape her, but luckily for her, this Crispin Glover looking detective was following and saves her and shoots him a bunch. But did anybody else think that he looked like Crispin Glover? He had like his hairdo and everything back in the day, like when he did like Willard and shit. Like, he just looked so much like him. He should have walked up to that one table with all the coffee and food and been like, give me a milk chocolate. I love Jennifer's attitude when she's being interrogated, like just how she's smiling the whole time, like, you got nothing on me, like, I'm not scared, like, and she's just lying through her teeth, just trying to get out of there, and just giving this bitchy cop, some attitude. I loved that whole interrogation. And then the one dude, Koza, slits his wrist, goes in there and starts claiming that he did it. Like, I'm the killer, I'm the one you're looking for. And I like to believe that he did that to save her, because we don't know that he knows that she's been doing all this shit, but I like to believe he did put it together, because there had to be somebody in that group, given how the guy died with a pipe up his ass. Like, who else could have, what a coincidence, so somebody in that group had to do it. So I like to think that he knew that Jennifer Hills was the one killing, and he knows that he doesn't have the balls to kill other people. He's just the guy with the big mouth. He's all talk, just constantly threatening, but he can't do it. So he kills himself and says it was all me. He's taking the blame to save her so that she can get out of there and continue her rampage, because he can't do it, but he knows that she can. So that's how I read that, and that's how I choose to see it. And then at this point, she just snaps further, like she's just extra crazy. The cops are onto her still, even though the other guy took the blame. They're still onto her. They're keeping a watch, and she sneaks out, and she's just so hungry for revenge at this point, and vengeance, and she's just impatient. Like, she's just attacking people she's not being clever about it anymore. She's making mistakes left and right. She tries to attack that nice coworker who's still just trying to be nice to her, despite how much of a bitch she's been to him every single time he's talked to her. Like, she's trying to, like, fuck him in the parking lot, and he's like, no, like, I'm not that guy. You're misreading me. And so he just gets in the car, drives away, but she was about to stab him, revealed the knife and everything. And then when she's trying to attack that creep at the park, again, like, she's about to give him a blowjob, but before he even gets close to her, he's like walking towards her, unzipping his pants. She just takes the knife out right away, like revealing that she's about to attack him. Like, she doesn't wait anymore. She's like so impatient. She just can't wait for the right moment. She's just whipping the knife out way too soon. And then the cop is there, Crispin Glover, and shoots her. And then we realize that every time it cut to her giving, talking to her therapist, it was actually all happening like 2 years after everything we've been watching. Like, everything she's been saying to the therapist was like years after everything we've been watching. So it's like not happening at the same time. And the black eye during that one session was not from the jacked dude. It was just from some chick that beat her up in prison. So she's been in prison the whole time. It's 2 years later, she's getting released, and on her way out, she has another fantasy of killing her therapist and a couple of these other inmates. So it just shows that she's not cured. So it's 2 years later, and all this therapy did not help her at all. She's still the same lady, and she's going to continue that rampage again. So that's the end of the movie. What are your thoughts on I Spit on Your Grave 3? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button and become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And remember, it's all an opinion. You don't need to get butthurt about it.